this video may speak to you if you're a scientist or very rational and you use a lot of your left side of your brain. But you know, there is also sometimes something dropping in your head, some ideas, which we may call intuition, but you're still at the point where you kind of don't allow the intuition to drop in and still are too immersed in the left side of your brain, which is rational and always needs an evidence, so it can't fully open up for intuitive hits and guidance. So that's why it's my intention to read with you some passage from the book From Intellect to Intuition. So we may be open our minds a bit up to allow fuller wholeness of our brain to use the right and the left hemisphere. So what is this mysterious thing we call intuition? It is interesting to note that the word is totally ignored in some books on psychology, and those often by the biggest men in the field. The intuition is not recognized. We might define it as direct apprehension of truth apart from reasoning faculty or from any process of intellection. It is the emergence into consciousness of some truth or beauty never before sensed. It does not emerge from the subconscious or from the stored up memory, racial or individual, but drops into the mind directly from the subconscious or from the omniscient soul. It is immediately recognized as infallibly true and arouses no questioning. All sudden solution of apparently insoluble or abstruse problems, and numbers of the great revolutionizing invention come under this category. All right. So it is something which drops in and it speaks truth and has no questioning. All right, let's look a little further. This immediate access to truth is the ultimative destiny of all human beings, and it seems probable that someday the mind itself will lie as much below the threshold of consciousness as the instinct now. We shall then function in the realm of intuition, and we shall talk in terms of the intuition with as much faculty as we now talk in terms of the mind, and endeavor to function as mental beings. All right, that's basically where our science is currently. It's often directed towards solution from the mind. And I would like to make one more statement. I jump ahead on page 163. He also gives us Professor Wilden Carr's definition. Dr. Young. Intuition is the apprehension by the mind of reality, direct as it is, and not under the form of a perception or conception, nor as an idea or object of the reason, all of which, by contrast, are intellect apprehension. The intuition, he tells us, is interested in purely intangible results. If it disregards time, it is also independent of feeling. That means there is no form of perception or no filter. As we know, we all have our individual realities, and our filter, the reticular activation system, which sees our physical reality a certain way with our own filter, which is also present if we operate from the mind. And that's why we somehow would need to aim to get the field of science from the mind, which has some truth, but it depends on which side of the angle we look at the truth, which truth we are seeing. But if we raise the consciousness of the field to the real truth, which is intuition and which is, as stated in the book, it is right. There is no questioning. There is no filter from between us, because it's just one level higher. So if that can be our goal, I invite you to allow the opening of your right side of your brain with intuition, that we can combine practical thinking together with higher truth, so we can build a science that has a whole brain thinking model of scientists that are mystics at the same time, but really practical and have a stability in their mind with a higher truth. And I wish you inspiration in further reading, and I hope you also can walk the path of opening your mind for intuition and allowing your left side of the brain to ease a bit. Even if there is no immediate proof yet, it is still a truth and it will emerge, and that's our soul and humanity evolution, where we're heading towards, from the mind to the intuition as a whole. And yeah, I hope this opens up something for you and sparks some new ideas.